Hi everyone. In week 4, we begin to transition from building basic knowledge about environmental biology. So we learned about what it is, we learned about natural systems, ecology and ecosystems. We learned about populations of living things and how they're interacting in their natural environment, how populations grow and change. And also we talked about the large impact of human populations. So we know that human populations are increasing, right? We know that globally, worldwide, our numbers continue to increase. And that means our use of resources increases. But that also leads to very specific consequences for the environment. And that's what we're going to spend essentially the rest of the class tackling, are these very specific examples of how humans are impacting the environment. And we're actually going to start in this week talking about air pollution first. So what we'll learn about is we're going to learn just a little bit about atmosphere. So not a huge discussion on atmosphere, but we're going to talk about it a little bit. We're going to talk about what air pollution is, how we categorize air pollution. There's different types of air pollution depending on what the source of the air pollution is. We're going to talk about how those sources of pollutants can impact human health. We'll also start to talk about how also they can impact other living things as well. And also we want to discuss this idea that not all air pollution comes from just outside and outside sources. There are plenty of sources of indoor air pollution as well. So we'll touch on some of those topics also. So as before, we basically have the same setup as far as assignments go this week. So in the lecture material folder, I have readings. And actually, as I'm looking at this, there's an alternate reading here that I'm not sure why that alternate reading is there, but that's neither here nor there. I'll take a look at that and adjust it or fix it as I may, or I might keep it in there. I have to kind of analyze that a little further. An air pollution lecture, my lecture notes, and the practice quizzes. I noticed a lot of you are taking advantage of those practice quizzes, and I'm happy to see that. So that'll definitely help you prepare for the first exam, which is in just 2 weeks away, if you can believe it. Lab this week is our air pollution lab, and this particular lab is going to have you analyze some data that I'm going to provide for you. So in a normal class setting, if we were together in lab, we would actually go out and use equipment to study the levels of different pollutants in the air around us. So we would study what pollutants are found in car exhaust. We would study the level of pollutants found in the ambient air, that's the air around us, and we would compare those two. Having no access to that type of equipment and not being able to give you access to that, what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to provide the data for you. So this will be one of several labs as we move forward where I will provide a data set for you to use to analyze and to answer questions. So that's going to be one of the things that you'll see as sort of a common theme in some of these upcoming labs, is a data set provided for you that we would have collected if we were on campus together. So you're going to analyze this data, then you're also going to look around your own home, and you're going to analyze your home for sources of potential indoor air pollutants. And you're going to sort of analyze what impacts that potentially could have on your health or the health of other people that live in your home. For assignments this week, once again, we have discussion being led by our group leaders. So thank you to our discussion group leaders. I will have this set of instructions along with the video every single week where a student is leading discussion. So even if you're not leading discussion until week 7 or week 8, don't worry. You'll still have access to the instructions information here on how to get your discussion forums set up for everyone to participate in. So once again, thank you to our discussion leaders. Everyone else, don't forget to read those articles and then respond to them just as you would to any of our other discussion forums. This will be our first assignment due this week that is related to our green technology project. So this is a project that, again, if we were all together, this would be a group project that I would be assigning you all, and you would work together with other people to essentially highlight or come up with an explanation for some sort of new and emerging technology that has been designed to help tackle an environmental problem. Working in groups in an online setting is difficult, and I understand that. So what I've done instead is I have moved this to an individual project, and I'm giving you a lot of flexibility as far as what this project looks like. I highly encourage you to do one of two things. You can watch this video here, which describes the Green Technology Project. If you haven't already, you can also go to course materials and click on Green Technology Presentation. All of the documents you need, including the different parts of the project, are in here. A description of what each part of the project is going to look like, and then also just a grading rubric. For this module this week, week 4, the only thing you have to do is you just have to come up with a potential list of a few topics. So spend a little time and think about some things that you're interested in. If you're interested in ways to reduce our plastic waste, right? So plastic seems to be a problem. Doesn't seem to be. It is a problem. We know that the problem of plastic pollution is huge, especially for our marine ecosystems. If that's something that interests you, do a Google search about cleaning up plastic pollution and see what comes up, what type of innovative ideas and technologies are being designed or developed to tackle that problem. So there's no limit as far as where you can go with this project. It really is up to you and what you're interested in. This first assignment is just a list of things you might want to do. It's not set in stone. If you find something else later that you like better, you can substitute that project instead, and that's fine. This is just to get you to start thinking about it, and we're going to build progressively as the semester moves on to get you at a point where you're ready to put together your project. So your project can take the form of a paper, a PowerPoint presentation, a video you create. There's lots of different ways that this project can come together. So again, take a look at my video, check out the project description in course materials here on Blackboard. Lots of different ways you can learn about the project, but for this week, you just need to give me some ideas on what you might want to do. And then, of course, we've got the check-in survey as well. So that's it for this week. Again, the only sort of new thing that you have this week is the Green Technology brainstorm. The other thing that you're going to find this week is I am opening up access to some study materials for the exam. So the exam is in week 6 of this semester. I've given you an explanation of what to expect for the exam. My exam comes in 2 forms. It's up to you which one you want to take. You can either take an all essay question exam, or you can take a traditional multiple choice true-false exam. If you take the essay version of the exam, I actually give you all the essay questions ahead of time to help you prepare, and then I will randomly select, I don't randomly select, the test will randomly select 4 questions for you to answer the day of the exam. But you'll have all the questions ahead of time, so you can prepare to answer those as best you can. For those of you who might want to take the more traditional exam, which is a combination of multiple choice and true-false, I give you a study guide. And the study guide then you can use to help you prepare. I'm also giving you information about this proctoring system I use. I use a system called HonorLock. So here's a video that shows you what HonorLock looks like. So it's very easy. There's an extension, a browser extension that you'll need. If you don't have the browser extension, when you click on the exam, it will automatically ask you to download it so that you can take it. So there's no really additional steps you need to take. The exam will walk you through what you need to do. I'm also offering the opportunity to plan some study sessions, and depending on student interest will kind of depend on how many of these study sessions I'm going to hold. But I created a sign-up sheet with some potential days the week of the exam. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of exam week. You know, if you're interested in a live study session, so I would use Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, which is kind of like a Zoom or a WebEx or any of those other platforms. We can all sort of be in a room together, virtually, discussing. And the idea is that I can help you with questions you have. I can help answer questions on the study guide. I can help answer questions about the exam the essay questions. I can do all of that. I can answer any questions or help you in any way that you need to get yourself prepared for the exam. So that's what this study session would be, kind of an open-ended question and answer forum. So if that's something that interests you, let me know what days you'd be available and what times would be best for you. And again, depending on student interest, it depends on how many of these sessions that I would set up. All right, so you'll see this folder again, this exam study material folder. It will be in the week 5 folder as well. So it's the exact same information. I'm just repeating it in weeks 4 and weeks 5 so that you have access to it at least 2 weeks in advance of the exam. I think that should about cover it for this week. Let me know if you have any questions at all. Thanks, everybody.